虽只是简单一场，却压制住了我用至宝的最强攻击。
很好，你值得。
你让我接了3招，现在该轮到我了。
Hello everyone, welcome to the SwallowedStar channel. Here, I will share spoilers for SwallowedStar episode 203. Remember, this is based on the novel, so it won't be 100% similar to the Donghua version. Okay, without further ado, let's dive right into the story. Luo Feng's persistent refusal of Sibo Wa's repeated offers caused Sibo Wa's anger to explode instantly. The atmosphere in the palace turned tense as a murderous aura spread, and Sibo Wa performed a quick teleportation move to intimidate Luo Feng from close range. However, Luo Feng did not flinch in the slightest. He cleverly reminded Sibo Wa that killing him would only cause the sensor access code to be lost forever. In addition, Luo Feng was very confident in his defensive abilities. If Silver Eye, who mastered the laws of time, had failed to kill him, then Sibo Wa, who relied on the laws of space, would definitely not be able to catch him. This confrontation and negotiation made Sibo Wa realize that violence was not the answer. Realizing that physical threats and ordinary treasures were ineffective against this man, Sibo Wa calmed his emotions and changed his strategy. He assumed that Luo Feng must have a high status in the outside world and would not be tempted by standard treasures. Finally, Sibo Wa decided to take out the most valuable item he possessed, an item whose value far exceeded the previous 2 treasures. He showed a hexagonal stone slab the size of a palm with an engraving of a roaring beast. Sibo Wa had obtained this mysterious object after killing a weak barbarian creature in Ice Hell, but he knew it was something that the strongest fighters would fight over. When Luo Feng's eyes fell on the stone slab, his heart raced as he felt a strange resonance. The animal engravings on the stone emitted a mystical aura similar to that of the beast god statue or the 9-universe primal chaos tablet he had seen before. Although Luo Feng tried to hide his interest by calling it just an ordinary stone, Sibo Wa immediately dispelled his doubts. The ruler of Ice Hell explained that the slab was not just any stone, but a beast god inheritance token originating from the ancestral god sect, the most powerful and legendary sect in the universe. It was the key to the power that all beings dreamed of. The confrontation between Luo Feng and Sibo Wa reached its peak with mutual accusations of deception. Luo Feng cleverly exposed Sibo Wa's true intentions, which were to use the in-game reward mission as a covert way to send a message to the demon race. Cornered, Sibo Wa finally admitted that he did intend to test the authenticity of the access before handing over the inheritance token. The two, both cunning and distrustful of each other, finally agreed to put both items on the table and make a new, more transparent agreement, even though the tension was still thick in the air of the cold palace. Luo Feng proposed an absolute condition. The token must be handed over first before sensor access is granted. Sibo Wa initially refused, fearing that Luo Feng would run away with the token. However, Luo Feng calmly reminded him that as the ruler of Southern Ice Hell and an invincible king, Sibo Wa should not need to fear the escape of a single human. With his strong bargaining position, Luo Feng threatened to cancel the agreement if his conditions were not met. Sibo Wa, desperate to escape Ice Hell, finally gave in, throwing the precious token to Luo Feng while vowing to hunt him down if the access granted turned out to be fake. Once the token was in his possession, Luo Feng immediately contacted his master, the Primal Chaos City leader, through the virtual network. He reported his discovery of the Beast God's inheritance token and asked for strategic advice. Luo Feng explained his plan to use the token as an entry ticket to the ancestral god sect in order to increase his power. He also outlined a scenario for escaping Ice Hell, either by escaping himself or by allowing Sibo Wa to contact the demon race, which would provoke intervention from the humans. The Primal Chaos City leader welcomed his students' good fortune, although he was slightly disturbed by Luo Feng's dual choice of pursuing the paths of Spirit Reader and Warrior at the same time. The master agreed that waiting 10,000 years in Ice Hell would be futile if there was a golden opportunity like this. He instructed Luo Feng to secure the token first and let Sibo Wa send his message. The city leader was confident that the demon race would not immediately send a universe master just to save one individual. And even if that happened, he was ready to intervene to deal with it. Back to reality, Luo Feng now had complete control over the situation. With his master's blessing and the inheritance token safely in his possession, he was ready to take the next step. He granted the Sibo Wa's servant access to the actual sensors, allowing the message from Ice Hell to finally be sent to the outside world. This was a huge gamble that would change the fate of both of them, paving the way for a greater conflict between the human and demon races, as well as marking the beginning of Luo Feng's new adventure toward greater power in the ancestral god sect. Inside the Sibo Wa palace, tension reached its peak as the ruler of Ice Hell waited eagerly for the results of the sensor test. After what felt like an eternity, his female servant finally opened her eyes and confirmed that the message had been sent and someone had responded. Sibo Wa, who was usually as calm as an ice mountain, suddenly exploded with immense joy, roaring with excitement as he realized that his freedom was within reach. He let Luo Feng leave peacefully while planning to take back the inheritance token after his races. High-ranking officials arrived to pick him up in the next few days. Meanwhile, Luo Feng, who had returned to his hideout in the eastern Ice Hell, was very satisfied with the perfect outcome of the negotiations. He held the Beast God's inheritance token while contemplating his relationship with the ancestral god sect, which turned out to have a very wide influence in the universe. Luo Feng recalled the incident when King Seven Blade had produced the mysterious Golden Pawn, and he suspected that the legendary fighter also had connections with the sect. Now, Luo Feng was just waiting for the arrival of the demon race's high-ranking officials who were coming to rescue Sibo Wa, curious to see if the creature would be a worthy opponent for his master, the primal chaos city leader. Sibo Wa's secret message had reached the ears of his former master, a sky wolf venerable who now lived on a prosperous planet in the demon race's territory. The master, touched and proud, learned that his long-lost disciple was still alive and had even become an invincible king without any resources. He was convinced that if Sibo Wa had received proper training from the clan, his disciple would have long since become a universe venerable. However, realizing that Ice Hell was guarded by the Purple Venerable, who was one of the generals of the ancestral god sect, the Sky Wolf Venerable did not dare to act alone and decided to report to the supreme leader of their clan. Deep within the demon race's territory, there was a magnificent palace floating among the stars, surrounded by rainbow fireballs as big as stars. This place was the residence of the master of Sky Wolf, the most powerful figure in the clan. After hearing the report from the Universe Venerable about Sibo Wa's condition, the leader, whose voice was thunderous, decided to intervene himself. He remembered that he had once tried to revive Sibo Wa with a time reversal technique, but failed, and now he knew that his beloved disciple had been trapped in Ice Hell for thousands of years. The Master of Sky Wolf finally moved his Palace of Fire, which controlled one of the most precious treasures in the universe, towards the Black Flower secret region. The decision of the clan's supreme leader to come himself made the Sky Wolf Venerable, who reported it, feel very grateful and confident that Sibo Wa would be rescued safely. However, what they did not realize was that this was all part of Luo Feng and the Primal Chaos City leader's grand plan to provoke a direct confrontation between the two great powers of the universe, a gamble that would determine the fate of many parties. The arrival of the Master of Sky Wolf in the Ice Hell Star Band instilled a profound sense of terror. A giant palace of fire appeared out of nowhere, radiating an aura of domination that made all creatures around it tremble in fear, even the immortal kings. The legendary figure of the Sky Wolf race emerged from his palace, surrounded by tongues of fire that seemed to embody the laws of the universe. With a thunderous voice, he ordered the Purple Venerable and Green Venerable to immediately free Sibo Wa, a disciple of one of his subordinates who was imprisoned there. The Green Venerable obediently released Sibo Wa using his Ice Hell artifact. After being freed, Sibo Wa felt overwhelming joy at seeing the legendary leader of his clan standing before him. However, tension arose again when the Master of Sky Wolf questioned Sibo Wa's potential to the Purple Venerable. Offended by the Green Venerable's interruption, the Sky Wolf ruler viciously attacked the Green Venerable, cracking his body and sending him flying. a terrifying demonstration of power to silence anyone who dared to oppose him. After the atmosphere calmed down a little, Sibo Wa dared to report to his leader about the existence of a human who held the beast god's inheritance token. Intrigued by the precious token, the master of Sky Wolf demanded that the human be handed over to him. However, the Purple Venerable and Green Venerable flatly refused, even daring to lie by saying that there were no humans in Ice Hell. They knew very well that the human was the beloved disciple of Mountain Sitting Guest, a figure far more terrifying than even the master of Sky Wolf. This refusal angered the Black Wolf, who felt his authority was being challenged. He threatened to destroy everything if they continued to protect the mysterious human, suspecting a major conspiracy involving the human race's leaders. The situation became even more complicated when the two guardians of Ice Hell secretly contacted Mountain Sitting Guest for instructions. Strangely, the mysterious figure ordered them to hand over Luo Feng and let the conflict happen without revealing the identity of his protector. Confused but obedient, the two Universe Venerables finally released Luo Feng from his ice prison. Luo Feng, who had just been released, was shocked to see the scene in front of him. A giant palace of fire and a black wolf figure exuding an aura of death, while his master was still nowhere to be seen. Sibo Wa arrogantly mocked Luo Feng, confident that the human's life would end at the hands of his leader. Just as the master of Sky Wolf was about to launch a deadly attack, an extraordinary phenomenon occurred. The sky around the Ice Hell Star Band was split by a giant river of light that stretched for several light years, filled with thousands of treasures floating in its flow. The aura of power emitted by the river was so powerful that it was able to extinguish the flames surrounding the Sky Wolf Palace. Purple Venerable and Green Venerable immediately recognized the phenomenon as the Thousand Treasure River, a sign of the arrival of the Primal Chaos City leader. The once arrogant master of Sky Wolf now looked shaken, realizing that he had just provoked one of the most powerful beings in the universe. The magnificence of the Thousand Treasure River, a projection of the true treasures of the Primal Chaos City leader, left everyone stunned, including Sibo Wa and Luo Feng. Although it was only a shadow of a river crossing the stars, its power was enough to shake the Sky Wolf Palace. The conversation between the Purple Venerable and the Green Venerable revealed the astonishing fact that this river was composed of thousands of priceless treasures that reinforced each other, creating unimaginable power. Luo Feng, though he did not hear the conversation, was amazed to see his master's figure so dominant, even surpassing the master of Sky Wolf. He remembered Mountain Sitting Guest's prediction about his future potential, which further fueled his passion to achieve that level of power. The true form of the Primal Chaos City leader's body then emerged from the river, walking on waves and reaching a height of 10,000 kilometers. Its appearance, like a silver giant with 1,000 antennae and a rough stone staff, exuded an aura of majesty that made the master of Sky Wolf seem inferior. Luo Feng was shocked to realize that his master was a special life form, a unique form of life that was extremely rare in the universe. The confrontation between these two giant entities made other beings, such as the Universe Venerable and Sibo Wa, seem insignificant, mere small spectators in the midst of a battle for dominance between two peak powers. The master of Sky Wolf, not to be outdone, diverted attention by revealing Luo Feng's true identity. He keenly recognized that King Blade River was actually just a world master who used the treasure Shiwu Wing to disguise himself and escape from an enemy as powerful as Silver Eye. This revelation shocked everyone, especially Sibo Wa and the two Universe Venerables guarding Ice Hell, who did not expect that they had been toyed with by someone whose cultivation level was far below theirs. Luo Feng himself was surprised by the master of Sky Wolf's sharp perception, realizing that his disguise was no longer effective in front of the highest level beings. However, the Primal Chaos City leader responded casually, even turning the situation into a lesson. He proudly declared that giving priceless treasures to talented juniors was the human race's strategy to create the strongest beings, a philosophy that differed from the stingy demon race. This sarcasm made Sibo Wa jealous, while the master of Sky Wolf, feeling humiliated, decided to end the conversation. He brought Sibo Wa into his palace and fled to the Dark Universe, realizing that he could not teleport under the pressure of the Thousand Treasure River. His departure was accompanied by the Primal Chaos City leader's thunderous laughter that shook the entire star sector. After his enemy left, the Primal Chaos City leader gave a brief thank you to the two Dooku race universe venerables before taking Luo Feng away. Purple Venerable explained to his confused companion that the city leader's friendly attitude was only a cover for his true brutal and domineering nature, reminding him how dangerous it was to deal with a peak being like him. The story ends with Luo Feng and his master arriving at the secret region of the Primal Secret Region, where the Primal Chaos City leader revealed the true form of the boundless Thousand Treasure River. He stated that treasures as powerful as this were the foundation of the human race's strength, and hoped that one day Luo Feng would also possess similar power. The Primal Chaos City leader smiled mysteriously as Luo Feng responded to the challenge to obtain the treasure of the Thousand Treasure River. Although his master only meant to encourage him, Luo Feng was already feeling confident because he actually already possessed the Force Armor and Star Tower, two artifacts that were no less powerful. The conversation then turned to a more serious topic when the city leader shrank his body to the size of an ordinary human. He revealed the big secret that Luo Feng's master, Master Zhen Yan, was also secretly following the path of the beast god of Earth and space, the exact same elements as the inheritance token Luo Feng had just obtained. The city leader explained the dilemma faced by Master Zhen Yan. Despite having reached the level of Invincible King, Zhen Yan's talent was not brilliant enough to obtain a rare token allocation from the human race, unlike young geniuses such as Luo Feng or King Seven Blade, who would almost certainly receive one upon reaching the level of Immortal. Wisely, the Primal Chaos City leader advised Luo Feng to give the newly acquired token to his master. Without a moment's hesitation, Luo Feng agreed as a form of gratitude, willingly waiting for his own turn in order to give his second master, who had been waiting for thousands of years, a golden opportunity. The Primal Chaos City leader was deeply impressed by his disciple's sincerity. In return, he promised to make a special request so that Luo Feng could obtain a replacement token sooner, even before reaching the Immortal level. He predicted that the Master of Sky Wolf would surely leak the true identity of King Blade River as a world master to the entire universe. This would trigger assassination attempts from other races, but on the other hand, this fame and potential danger would be a strong reason for the human race to immediately send Luo Feng to a safe place like the ancestral god sect. Sure enough, news of King Blade River spread like wildfire throughout the universe. The fact that the figure capable of killing the limit Immortal King was merely a world master shook the elite community of the universe, sparking envy and wild speculation about the invaluable treasure he possessed. Among the human race, fierce debates erupted over the true identity of the mysterious King Blade River. Initially, many suspected it was Luo Feng due to his phenomenal track record, while others theorized that he was a genius who even surpassed the legendary Kedi. Amidst the commotion, Luo Feng enjoyed a quiet moment with his family on Black Dragon Island. When his two sons, Luo Ping and Luo Hai, asked if their father was the King Blade River that everyone was talking about, Luo Feng did not deny it but asked them to keep it a secret. Seeing the enthusiasm and pride in his children's eyes, Luo Feng realized that this was only the beginning of his rise to the pinnacle of power in the universe. With his resolve growing stronger, he was ready to face any threats from the demon race and other enemies who would come to block his path. In Chaos City, the arrival of 3 purple envoys from the Primal Chaos City leader to Master Zhen Yan's residence caused a stir among his disciples. Usually, only black envoys came, so the presence of 3 purple envoys signaled big news. Master Zhen Yan himself was confused and surprised when he received them. However, his confusion turned to hysteria when the leader of the envoys presented him with a metal box containing the beast god's inheritance token. The object he had dreamed of for thousands of years was now in his grasp. This token was the key for him to break through the final barrier to becoming a universe venerable, a leap that separated ordinary emperors from true cosmic entities. However, Master Zhen Yan's excitement was mixed with shock when he learned that the token was not a gift from the Virtual Universe Company, but a gift from his own disciple, Luo Feng. A feeling of emotion and guilt enveloped his heart. He knew how precious the token was for the future of a cultivator, especially since Luo Feng was also following the path of the beast god. Master Zhen Yan felt unworthy of receiving such a sacrifice from his disciple, worried that Luo Feng had traded his own future for his master's advancement. Shortly after the envoys left, Master Zhen Yan rushed to meet Luo Feng in the virtual world. Overflowing with emotion, he reprimanded his disciple for acting recklessly. However, Luo Feng calmly explained that he had obtained the token himself, not as a gift from another party, which is why the Primal Chaos City leader had recommended the gift. Luo Feng also assured his master that with his potential and status as the King Blade River, the human race would surely give him a replacement token. Hearing this logical explanation and the assurance of the Primal Chaos City leader's support, Master Zhen Yan finally accepted the gift with deep gratitude, acknowledging how fortunate he was to have a disciple like Luo Feng. Meanwhile, in the Primal Secret region, Luo Feng anxiously awaited the decision of the human race's leaders. The Primal Chaos City leader was fighting for his request to obtain a replacement inheritance token before Luo Feng reached the Immortal level. The wait ended sweetly when Master Zhen Yan appeared with good news. Luo Feng's request had been approved. His identity as the phenomenal King Blade River had succeeded in convincing the other masters of the universe. The Primal Chaos City leader even arranged for Luo Feng and Master Zhen Yan to depart together for the ancestral god sect's inheritance land, a rare opportunity for master and disciple to adventure together. The next day, the long-awaited inheritance token finally arrived in Luo Feng's hands. When he examined the hexagonal metal tablet, he saw an engraving of a one-horned lizard that reminded him of the beast god from the Blood River world. Although the engraving was not as clear as the previous token, the mysterious energy emanating from it remained the same. By injecting his spiritual power, Luo Feng obtained the coordinates to the inheritance land. Now, with thorough preparation and the blessing of the race's leaders, Luo Feng was ready to embark on a new chapter of his adventure in the most sacred place in the universe, the ancestral land of the ancestral god sect. So what happens next? Let's wait and see in the next video, guys. Okay, thank you for watching until the end, and don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me. Bye.
你让我接了3招，现在